Hi Sagittarius, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your September career tarot reading where we're going to look at the astrological energies of the month of September. This is a big month, Sag, as we come off of the heels of August. And I will tell you that this Ace of Pentacles just tried to fly out, as well as that Queen of Pentacles. So that is already good news for you all in a career reading. But I was saying August was a huge month. We had so much going on, and we are now into eclipse season. So this is going to be a month of a lot of changes. We are starting off the month with Uranus retrograding in Taurus, Pluto going back into Capricorn, and we have that Virgo New Moon right out the gate. So if you haven't already taken a look at those September monthlies, I will leave a link below, and all the dates are there as well. All right, let's get right into it. You start off the first week with the Two of Swords in the reverse, as well as the Nine of Wands. Second week for your career looks like the Ten of Cups, as well as the Sun card, Leo energy there in reverse, major arcana. Third week finds you with the Nine of Cups in the reverse, right under the Ten of Cups. That's interesting. And the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So two major arcanas on the board. Magician card, another major arcana. And lastly, the Ace of Cups. So ending the month with that Ace of Cups is really nice to see right there, getting ready to be in that eclipse that comes in the beginning of October. This month we will actually have the first eclipse in Pisces. So that will be really interesting to see, Sag. So let's go ahead and pull a card and ask Spirit to send you a card representing the energy that you brought out of August. Now, remember, that was a huge month with Mercury retrograding in the signs of Virgo and Leo. So let's see where you are coming into the month with. King of Cups in reverse. So one thing I do want you to note, Sagittarius, is there's quite a few reversals on the board for you. And I do think that many of you all have been having a lot of questions. You've been second guessing yourself. King of Cups is an emotional support type card, but with it in reverse, maybe you were feeling like emotional support was lacking in the month of August. Possibly someone was coming to you for support, or you were looking to someone else for support. Either way, you weren't receiving it, or you weren't getting it, or you weren't giving it to someone else. So I do think during this month of September, keep this in mind as you come into the month. If you are needing some type of emotional grounding, try to find comfort in possibly a new group of people, or possibly reaching out to your spirit guides and asking them for guidance. I do think that this is going to be this month though, Sag, where you're really getting a handle on where you are at with your emotions. And I'm saying that because this is going to be a month that we will be heading into Libra at the end of the month. And so we will be like relationships and emotional kind of connections will be a big deal. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull an overarching theme card for your career. Spirit, if you can send me a card for Sag. And you have Nine of Air. Look at that. So Nine of Air does say, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Remember, Nine of Air is like that Nine of Swords, where you are just feeling like you cannot sleep. You have something on your mind that has been bogging you down. I think this is mimicking that King of Cups. Remember, I was saying you all have felt like maybe you haven't had emotional support, or you have been worrying. And Spirit is telling you that this month, really get that in control, and do it by turning to a more positive way of thinking. Ask your spirit guides to guide you in the positive as opposed to the negative, and realize that the things that you have been worrying about, maybe they shouldn't hold so much weight on you, and maybe this is the month to clear this away, okay? And I do think, Sagittarius, like, some of that is mimicked up here with that Two of Swords in reverse and Nine of Wands. Definitely some kind of like burden you have gone through during the month of August. But I do see by the time you get to the second and third week, some type of family wishes could be coming true, or some type of event could occur that by the end of the month, you're really getting a fresh start. And I do think a lot of these reversals could be you just worrying and just thinking, okay, well, what if this doesn't go the way that it should? But I do think that when you start off that first week of the month with, excuse me, with the Uranus retrograde beginning in Taurus, as well as Pluto entering Capricorn in that Virgo new moon on the 2nd, by the time you are getting into like the end of that first week, I think you are starting to realize that all of your fears are not well founded. And I feel like some of you had some kind of decision to make back in August. And I do think that you have learned either your lesson or you're coming out of it with a fresh perspective. That's what I'm hearing. And I do think that by the time you reach that second week of September, when Mars enters Cancer on the 4th, I do think that some of this is going to be alleviated. Like you're not going to be worrying so much anymore. And that's a really good thing to see, Sag. And I do think that many of you all have just been going through these kind of like doubting yourself or not feeling like you are worthy. And I do think that by the time you reach this second week, all of that is starting to dissipate. Second week of September is when we have Mercury entering Virgo on the 9th, and then we have the Sun in Virgo. It looks like squaring Jupiter in Gemini on the 12th, and then we have a lunar eclipse, Pisces full moon on the 17th. During this time, this is going to be our first Pisces full moon in the Pisces and Virgo axes. This is going to be a really great time for you, Sagittarius. It feels like you're starting to feel a lot better than you did back in August, and it feels like your family is in a happier place. And it also feels like, even though there's still some bumps in the road, it just feels like you have a clearer head and you're feeling better about the future. Whether this is your finances, I do think in your career, many of you all either get a new job or you get an opportunity to start something new with your family, or that's going to benefit your family. And I do think that's going to be a huge thing at that Pisces full moon. Something is going to be revealed at that full moon for you, dealing with your family. Now, by the time you get to that third week of September, this is when we have the Sun entering Libra on the 22nd, and then Venus also enters Scorpio on the 22nd. During this time, I do think that there's some type of wish that you all have been wanting, and this could be your family, or it could be like your colleagues, like your work family. It does feel like you all were wishing that either something would fruition by time this month rolled around, or possibly you all were wishing that, you all got a raise, or there's something collectively that you all have been wishing that may not go the way that you all were thinking. But I think it's coming. I just think that it's not in the divine timing that you all were hoping for. But I do think that by time that Venus enters Scorpio and then the Mercury enters Libra on the 26th, remember I had mentioned about Libra in the beginning. I do think relationship conversations are going to come up at work, and many of you all are going to have some really meaningful conversations that lead to possibly hearing more about a raise or a conversation about money in the future. Now, by the time you get to the last week of the month, this is when we do have the Sun in Libra conjunct the South Node on the 28th. We have Mars in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces on the 30th. And then the Sun is conjunct Mercury in Libra also on the 30th. So by the time we're rounding out the month, lots of conversations going on. And I do think that you all, even though this Magician is in the reverse, I do feel like you all feel much more empowered than you did at the beginning of the month when you had that Two of Swords, that Nine of Wands, when you were feeling weighed down. That Magician card is like, you're not 100%, but you're at least at like 90%. Like you're feeling so much better. And there's some type of intuitive insight that comes in at the very end of the month and into October. Solar eclipse occurs in Libra on the 2nd. Be reminded here, Sagittarius, many of you all probably have a lot of Libra placements, just because, it is closer to that zodiac sign. So So check out where in your chart is Libra, because I do think this Ace of Cups and Magician at the end of the month is telling you by the time you get to that solar eclipse on October 2nd, something big is on its way. So I'm so glad to see this for you, Sag. I think that many of you all have just been stressing yourself out. And I do think that by the time you move into the month of October, get through some of this heaviness of September, I do think a lot of this will clear up. I do hope that this helped you with your career. Take a look at your sun, moon, rising signs in this video series, and I'll talk to you later.